let's talk about the three doshas in Ayurveda, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. They're very important three energies that govern everything in our body and everything in our mind. Basically, biological energies, they're very unique to every individual. Some people have more Kapha energy, some people have more Vata energy, but in any case, everyone has all three energies. And the proportion is very unique to everyone. Vata energy is the energy that governs all the movements in our body, blood flow, digestive movements of the food in the intestines, colon, elimination of waste, whether it's urination or evacuation of the bowels, breathing process, all the activities of the nervous system. As far as the mind is concerned, the thoughts and even our creative expressions, they are all governed by Vata energy. Energy controls the transformations that take place. At cellular level also, these transformations take place. Oxygen is absorbed into the cells, carbon dioxide is released back into the blood. The various nutrients are absorbed from the food into the blood. The various hormones, they go to their targeted tissues and cells and bring different changes there. So these are all energy related transformations that happen because of Pitta. The digestion of food is a very important function of Pitta energy. The sensory perceptions that we have, what we see, what we hear, this is all perceived with the help of Pitta energy. Energy is about a structure, a physical form, a strong frame of our body is all because of Kapha energy. The lubrication provided to our joints, the building up of our body tissues in particular way, healing of the wounds, efficient immune system function, maintaining the blood volume is all connected with Kapha energy. Emotions are also related to this energy. Now we are going to study the different characteristics of this Vata, Pitta, Kapha energy and their strengths. Now, a person who is dominant with Vata energy, what you will see in that person? A person who has predominantly Kapha energy or Pitta energy. So what are these characteristics of these three energies in human body? And then what are their strengths in human beings? Generally, a Vata dominant person, their hair is dark or coarse. Their body frame is quite thin and slim. Now, when you consider the thin and slim body frame, you have to consider the other people in your culture, in your race. Generally, some people are thin, some people are moderate, and some people are big. So generally, the thin and slim body frame is representing Vata characteristics in the person more. A moderate frame, body frame, is more of a Pitta characteristic person, and Kapha characteristic person is slightly on a stronger, bigger side. The skin of Vata person, Vata dominant person is dry. Generally the skin tones are darker. Another very interesting characteristic of Vata energy is quick joint movements, what we call as fidgeting. When someone is sitting, just moving the toes, just moving the ankles, just moving the legs, or just moving your fingers. These quick movements are very typical of Vata dominant personality. These people are generally light sleepers. They generally don't go into deep sleep. And mentally, often you find them very restless. On the other hand, the Pitta characteristics people, the hair is thin, silky, and interesting thing, they gray prematurely. As far as the skin is concerned, it's warmer and a slight moist skin, you can feel it. The tone can vary again as per the race, but generally the Pitta skin is slightly more yellowish than the Vata skin. The body frame is average, it's not small and it's not big. The Pitta characteristic is there are quite quick changes in the mood of a Pitta dominant person. These personalities can be found quite judgmental and quite ambitious. On the other hand, if you see the Kapha characteristics, the hair is quite thick. The skin is also thick, moist, and generally cool. Now, out of Kapha, Pitta, and Vata, the Kapha characteristics, the Kapha dominant person has stronger body frame. He might be slightly on a bigger side. They are generally operating at slow pace. The fastest is the Vata. The moderate pace is Pitta. But Pitta is quite strong, determined pace. And very slow, relaxed, laid back activities are done by Kapha dominant person. When they select these people, when they select something, they think very carefully. They evaluate everything very calmly. Vata people, they decide very fast. Any decision they take very fast. But then there is more chance that they may change the decision. The Pitta people may not be as fast, but they are certainly faster than Kapha people. And once they decide, Pitta people, there is no way they want to change. Kapha people also don't change, but they take the decisions quite carefully. They generally looking inwards, introverted attitude. Now, what are the strengths of Vata body type? Someone who is Vata dominant person. They are very enthusiastic people, very vibrant in nature. The mind is always full of energy, and they can take things very lightly also. Their responses are very quick and very alert. They have excellent ability to motivate other people. The best part of Vata is their creative mind. They can find different solutions, very creatively thinking to their different problems. They can be very good artists. They can be very good public speakers. Very intelligent people because of this creativity. Pitta body type. Pitta body type is extremely punctual and very well organized people. In day-to-day activities, they will plan everything very precisely in a very systematic way. Everything in their personal life, in their personal workspace or home, everything is very properly organized. Very sharp, intelligent people with great analytical skills. They can plan out the work very well, and they can really be strict as far as the execution of that work is concerned. Vata persons, they can find solutions to different problems. But when it comes to planning, there can be some change of mind in between. And the plan that Vata person has made, he can again change that plan. Again change that plan. And create a lot more confusion. On the other hand, the Pitta type of people, Their thoughts and actions are very systematic. Once they plan out some work, they'll follow everything step by step. When they talk, it's again very precise and very affirmative. Their body language is very firm and strong and sends a very strong message. These people have very clean heart, very clean mind, and very realistic, but very strong as far as the emotions are concerned. They put in a lot of efforts emotionally, intellectually, in whatever they are doing. So Pitta type of people are something we can call as very serious people when it comes to commitment or work. Vata type of people, there is chance that they can change or they can forget things very quickly. But Pitta type of people, that doesn't happen. Then the strengths of Kapha body type. These people have excellent memory. They can remember very long some event. They can remember for years with every little detail, and they can easily recollect that event or incidents. The best part of Kapha type is they're very relaxed when they work. Although they are systematic, they're not as stressed as Pitta type of people. Pitta type of people can easily get stressed in work. Vata type of people can easily get anxious in work. But Kapha type of people, they are very relaxed in work, but they are very systematic also. They have excellent ability to make friends. They have quite sweet tongue. They can easily smile, talk very nicely to people. As opposed to the Pitta type of people, Pitta type of people have a very commanding speech. So generally Pitta type of people have little less friends as compared to Kapha type of people. Pitta type of people, there is tendency to control others. Kapha type of people generally don't have that tendency. They are generally more easygoing and they can easily get along with other people. Because of their relaxed attitude, they have a natural capacity to handle crisis. The very firm and tough mind, they can easily handle stress. They don't get easily disturbed. They don't get angry easily. Also, they don't get frustrated easily. The Vata type of person can get easily frustrated. The Pitta type of person can get angry very easily and very quickly. As opposed to these two, the Kapha type of person doesn't get frustrated, doesn't get anxious, doesn't get stressed, doesn't get angry. This is a big strength for a Kapha type of person. Their mind is with realistic attitude and generally they tend to think in spiritual terms. Now there are different factors in our day-to-day life which affect this Pitta, Vata and Kapha. Until now, what we saw is every individual has one of these three energies as dominating one. But of course, the person will have other two energies as well. So in the last few slides, what I was discussing about, you may find more qualities of Pitta, but there will be some qualities of Kapha and Vata in you. Or maybe you will have more qualities of Kapha in you and then less qualities of Pitta in you and then even less qualities of Vata in you. So any of these combinations can exist. So when you try and analyze yourself fully, you have to analyze all these three doshas. There are many tests that are available, even online, that can help you understand your exact nature, whether you are Pitta dominant or Kapha dominant or Vata dominant. But I'm going to tell you some more factors that affect these energies. And then if these factors affect the energies, what happens? That will also improve your understanding of these three energies. So Vata energy is increased when you are exposed to the cold weather or cold food or cold wind. Generally, the Vata type of people, they find it hard to handle this cold. The Pitta type of people are okay to handle this cold, but the most comfortable will be the Kapha type of person. They will not have any uh, intense effect of this cold on them. If a person eats too much of dry, frozen or leftover food, that can easily increase the Vata energy and disturb it. Now the person who is Vata dominant can easily have this Vata disturbed. If you eat a bitter food or pungent food or astringent food, then the Vata energy can get disturbed. Too much fasting also increases Vata energy. So a person who is Vata dominant should not do too much fasting. Traveling too much of exercise or suppressing natural urges, all of this can disturb Vata energy, increase Vata energy and then disturb it. Not oiling the skin can also increase the Vata energy. And of course, stress is a major factor. It can easily disturb the Vata energy. The factors that increase Pitta energy is if you are exposed to heat or you eat too much of salt or spicy food or sour food, that can again increase the Pitta energy. Irregularity of meals or skipping some meals or eating some meals late can certainly disturb Pitta energy. If someone exercises at midday when the sun is strong, that can easily disturb Pitta energy. Or drugs such as antibiotics can also disturb Pitta energy. If you are doing too much intellectual work or too much thinking, that can also increase Pitta energy. If you get angry or if you are very tired, that can also increase the Pitta energy. Drinking alcohol also creates imbalance in this energy. Now this energy can easily get imbalanced if a person is Pitta dominant person. But that doesn't mean that the Vata dominant person and Kapha dominant person will never have Pitta disturbed. No, they will also have Pitta disturbed if they exposed to all of this in a big way. If the person is exposed to cold, then Kapha energy can get disturbed as well. But if you eat too much of sweets or too much of fatty food or drink milk or lot of ice cream or yogurt or even excessive use of salt can disturb Kapha energy. Now this sugar and salt is there in many of our day-to-day food. We call it junk food or fast food. So that easily can increase our Kapha. And that's why people put on a lot of weight when they start eating these kind of things. And when someone is stressed, there is more tendency to eat this. And that's when they are more likely to put on weight because this disturbs the Kapha energy. If you drink water too much, excessive drinking of water is also going to disturb Kapha energy. Ayurveda does not recommend you have to drink this much liters of water. The Vata person actually requires little less amount of water. The Pitta person requires slightly more amount of water in the day. But Kapha person doesn't need that much water because their body already has stored quite a bit of water. So there is a little different view of Ayurveda as far as drinking of water is concerned. And even if you consider the modern medical science, there are conflicting views on that. How much water is good enough? Some studies say 3 liters, some studies say 4 liters, some studies say 3 and 4 liters is not required. So there's a lot of disagreements about it. If you take a little nap after the meals, after especially lunch or breakfast, then there is chance that the Kapha energy will increase. And a very common reason for increasing Kapha is lack of exercise or doing nothing. Medicines such as sedatives and tranquilizers can also increase the kapha energy. Generally, we all have these three energies, but there are two more important. And out of two, first one is even more important. So with this idea, you can find there are 6 different types of personalities. The Vata dominant personality, but the second one is Pitta. Then Vata dominant personality, but second one is Kapha. Of course, first one, Vata dominant, then Pitta, then Kapha is there, but it's much less. Then in second case, Vata is most dominant, maybe say 70, 65% for example. Maybe Kapha is say 25%. And then and then Pitta is probably 10%. Or maybe Vata is 40%, Kapha is 30%, and maybe Pitta is 30%. Then next one is say Kapha is dominant. Maybe Kapha is 40%, 50%, 60%. And then there is Pitta, and then there is Vata. Or maybe Kapha is more dominating, then there is Vata energy, and then last is Pitta. Now this Vata dominant, then second Pitta, and then Kapha. So you will see maximum qualities of Vata energy in this person. So you can see his body frame is slim. He can be thinking very creatively, but too much Vata can bring that little anxiousness or too much thinking or not firm on decisions, those aspects. But after that, Pitta energy is there. So there will be some kind of discipline in that person. Maybe he's a bit organized, but sometimes he's not. Maybe he can get angry because there is Pitta energy strongly. And then Kapha is very less. In the second case, Vata is there, but second one is instead of Pitta, it's Kapha is there. So probably Vata, Kapha, or opposite, Kapha, Vata, people may not get that angry. If Pitta is first or second, there is chance that the person can get angry or stressed easily. I'm just, for example, I'm giving you this. But all of these qualities that I talked about in the last few slides, you need to consider those. And then the last two types are Pitta dominant, then Kapha, and then Vata. Then the last one is Pitta dominant, then Vata, and then Kapha energy. So all these different combinations, you have to find out which one is your combination. And then you will understand what will be the requirements and what will be the factors that will influence our day-to-day life. If you are a Vata dominant personality, what is good for you? Sesame oil. You can use the sesame oil in your food. Sesame oil is considered very good for Vata. The massage, oil massage, very regular everyday oil massage keeps the Vata in balance, and you can get all the good benefits of that. You can avoid many of your health problems. Vata people generally tend to have joint pains, muscle pains, or dry skin, little anxious mind, problems falling asleep or not very deep sleep. All these things, if you take care of all of these factors here, then you can actually avoid all these problems. So having regular massage, not too much exercise, but little bit of exercise is required. Then taking care when it's very moist in the air, especially the rainy season when it's raining, it can disturb the Vata energy. Then for Vata, like sesame oil is good, like massage is good. Oil enema, basti, again with sesame oil is very good. As per Ayurveda, the Vata energy accumulates in the colon. So if you can get rid of that using oil enema and lubricating the colon, it will be very helpful. The three tests, sweet tasting food, sour tasting food, and salty food. This three test food is actually very good for Vata, bringing the balance to Vata energy. If someone is Kapha type, then this test will change. If the Kapha person eats sweet, then he'll easily put on more weight. If there is too much salt for Pitta person, then again it will disturb his Pitta. But for Vata, sweet, sour and salty food is recommended. That's good for him or her. Generally, the Vata person should eat fresh and warm food, should not eat food from the refrigerator or stale food. That will bring the balance to this Vata energy. Pitta dominant person, the best is ghee. The ghee is clarified butter. And if the ghee is included in everyday meals, it will be very helpful to keep the Pitta in balance, in check. Again, Pitta dominant person should not go for very heavy exercise or low intensity exercise. No, moderate exercise is recommended for Pitta people. Especially the autumn season, the Pitta people need to take care, because that's when this energy can get disturbed easily. Now Pitta accumulates in intestines. So laxatives is recommended, Virechan or Rakta Mokshan. Rakta Mokshan is bloodletting. This is done in Ayurveda by using leeches. But even by just blood donation, it can bring the Pitta energy into balance again. Now these three tests are very good for Pitta: the sweet test, astringent test, and bitter test food. So Pitta people and Vata people can have sweet. It will keep their Pitta and Vata energy in check. So if someone is Pitta and Vata or Vata and Pitta, then sweet test is very good for them. Along with sweet test, astringent and bitter food actually keeps the control over Pitta energy. So when someone is Pitta dominant, they should include some bitter food or little astringent food in their day-to-day eating. When it comes to Kapha, the honey is very good. For Kapha, the sesame oil and ghee should be avoided, because that is going to again increase the weight. Kapha people generally tend to put on weight very easily. The Kapha people also tend to sleep longer. They tend to become a little more lazy. So they need strong exercise. Along with honey, they should drink warm water. They should not drink cold water, because cold water again will disturb Kapha or increase Kapha. So warm water will keep that Kapha in balance. Along with that, herbal scrub powders, instead of using soaps, if you use the herbal scrub powders, it will get rid of the excess fats. Thus, spring season especially is little difficult for Kapha people, because it increases the Kapha dominance there. And if it happens, then Vaman or vomiting is recommended for Kapha people. When it comes to food, the spicy and bitter and astringent food is recommended for Kapha. Now this spicy food is not recommended for Pitta and Vata, because if you eat spicy food, if you are a Pitta person, then it's going to increase your Pitta or it's going to disturb your Vata. But spicy food is good for Kapha. The bitter food is good for Pitta also, and it is good for Kapha also. Astringent food is also good for Kapha. The hot and fresh food is very helpful for Kapha dominant personality. But an important point here is they need to make sure that they eat in limit. There is a tendency in Kapha people to overeat. Generally, Vata people eat very less food. Pitta people eat moderate food. Pitta people are very disciplined, so they will not eat more, they will not eat less. Vata people are little indisciplined in eating habits. But anyway, they don't eat lots, they eat small. Their timings may change, but they'll eat small. Kapha people can just go on eating. And that is one of the biggest problems. Like they just go on sleeping, they can also go on eating a lot of food. For Pitta people, generally the problems are not there with food, but they just prefer spicy food a lot. The problem with Pitta people is anger and commanding aspect or controlling aspect. And this is again connected with spicy food. They like it, but they should not have it. Kapha people don't have that problem, so they can have this spicy food, but they should eat in limits. They should not eat too much. Now, I'm just going to give some advice for this different body types, Vata, Pitta and Kapha, what they should do and what they should. So advice for Vata dominant people, regularity and consistency is extremely important because this is where the problems start. The Vata person is very irregular because their mind is changing continuously and it's not steady and they keep changing their plans. So it's very difficult to just maintain a disciplined daily routine. Say every day you want to go at 7 o'clock for running, then the Vata person will keep changing the time, or some days he'll not go there. So there is no regularity and no consistency. So Vata persons have to make an extra effort to be regular and consistent. Now the Vata type of people, they are not big people. There's not a lot of energy storage. They're not big and strong. So they need some rest after regular gaps. Say you worked for 1.5 hours, then take some rest for maybe 10 minutes. Pitta people also need rest, but they don't need rest as frequently as Vata people should take. Kapha people, they don't need rest. They're very strong. They can just go on working. They can go on working. It's not going to affect them. But because Kapha is dominant, they are becoming lazy and they are taking more and more rest instead of working hard. And that's when the Kapha becomes disturbed. Here Vata people, when they should take rest, they don't take rest. That's what again makes them more tired and disturbing the Vata again. Vata people should do regular oil massage before bath. It may not be from the massage therapist. You can just have a self massage. It doesn't have to be very strong massage. You can apply it on your body. And that oil which will be absorbed will help balance the Vata. The Vata people have a tendency to give instant reactions and they reach conclusions instantly. They really don't want to analyze everything like Vata, like Pitta and Kapha type of people. So these instant reactions and instant conclusions should be avoided. Very important is they should take good nutritious food which will strengthen all different parts in your body, and different nutritious herbs also in diet. Supplementary herbs that will assist the digestion should be taken. The food should be fresh, warm and moist. It should not be dry. It should not be cold. It should not be stale. It should not be frozen. And then the Vata people can have nice balance of this energy. Vata dominant people also should use digestive spices. They should take some creamy soups, hot cereals, butter or ghee, some kind of fatty, small proportion. Some fats they need to have. They should eat in calm and quiet atmosphere. If things are disturbed around, then Vata people can easily get disturbed. They need to protect themselves from dry and cold weather. If you go out in the wind, very strong wind, it can easily disturb the Vata energy. During the cold and rain, the digestion can easily get disturbed for Vata people. So they need to particularly take care during that. They should eat puddings, porridges, or Indian kheer, which is on a sweet side and it's a wholesome, it's made with whole grains. And this is very nutritious food for Vata. Pitta dominant people, they should avoid hot food like garlic, chili, very spicy food. Generally, Pitta dominant people like chilies and spicy food, but that disturbs the Pitta quickly. So they should try and limit this. Another important thing for Pitta is they can get hungry quite often. So they should generally eat after maybe 3 hours or even 2 hours, maybe a small snacks, something like that. Because if they don't eat, that's going to disturb the pitta energy. And if they don't have something in the stomach, then it makes them angry. So that's why interesting recommendation. If you are having some important meetings, have some food, because if the food is in your stomach, then there is less chance that you will get angry. Generally, pitta people sweat more and they can have skin problems very easily. So it's better to have bath 2 times in a day. Then avoid instant reactions and anger, because this is where the pitta energy can disturb the whole function. And there is tendency in pitta dominant people to get angry with even little things. Generally drinking sweet fruit juices, mango juice, grape juice, these are very helpful for balancing the pitta energy. The sweet food, slightly cooler food and nutritious food is recommended. Pitta should not eat very hot. They can have warm food, that's good, but they should not have very hot. Even hot tea and coffee, hot beverages like tea and coffee can disturb pitta. If you drink too much tea, too much coffee, and if it is hot, then it will certainly not be good for pitta energy. It's recommended to consume amla fruit or amla powder to control the pitta energy. Amla is also very rich in vitamin C, so actually it's good for all, but especially it's good to control the pitta. A glass of cold milk, and if you add some sugar in it, maybe natural sugar, whatever you get, it's very helpful to control pitta energy. As I mentioned in previous slides, excessive salty and fried food, spicy fried salty food can certainly disturb pitta energy. If you eat fried food, pitta can get disturbed very quickly. So chips or some other fried ready-made things which has salty and oily thing, that can also disturb this energy. The body should be kept cool and dry, because the pitta people tend to have little more warm skin. That makes their skin quite delicate. So they can easily have some skin problems because of excessive sweating. If they keep themselves in cool and dry place, then that will help this energy. The kapha type of people, they should avoid cold and refrigerated food, the food that is heavy to digest, food that has a lot of oil, lot of butter, or sweet food or dairy products like yogurts, ice creams, or cheese, that should be avoided. The cheese is a fermented food, and pitta people, if they eat fermented food a lot, then it can easily disturb pitta. The fermented food can also disturb vata, and fermented food also disturbs kapha. So Ayurveda recommends very less fermented food in your day-to-day meals. Advice for kapha is very important when it comes to quantity and light food in dinner. So reduce the quantity, keep small quantity, whether it's lunch or whether it's dinner or whether it's breakfast. Generally, kapha people should eat only twice. Pitta people should eat more than that because they get hungry quite often. Vata people, the hunger is very variable. Sometimes they may eat 4 times, sometimes they may eat twice. Now for kapha, the hot herbal teas are very important, or hot water is very helpful, because that will keep their kapha in check. It will reduce their laziness and sleepiness as well. The kapha person can use some herbal scrub powders to remove the excess fats. There is a tendency in kapha person to always make themselves comfortable. So they will try and sit for very long duration, or they'll try and nap frequently in the day, or they will try and prefer easier, lazier options. So that should be avoided. The Kapha people should use spices, various spices that make the food easy for digestion, and they should also avoid frequent eating. Should keep their body warm, but not cold, but it should be dry. Fasting is actually very good for Kapha. Fasting is little difficult for Vata people because fasting disturbs Vata very quickly. Fasting also disturbs Pitta very quickly. In fact, Pitta people should not do complete fasting. Maybe they can select some other form of fasting where there is some food that they are eating. But complete fasting is very good for Kapha, and they should do it regularly. That will keep their Kapha energy in check. The food that has low fats, hardly any sugar or no sugar is recommended for Kapha people. Now raw food, salads and uh, raw green vegetables is actually very good for Kapha people. Salads and these raw vegetables are very good for Pitta people also. But they are not as much recommended for Vata because the raw food disturbs Vata energy quickly. But it's good for Kapha and it's good for Pitta also. Exercise is very helpful for Kapha. And they should do heavy exercise and they should do very regular exercise. There is a tendency in Kapha people to be lazy and not go or not be regular. But if they make a point to go and do the heavy exercise, they are very strong people. They can handle stronger exercise. So that regularity in exercise is very important for Kapha people. Again, this is just a quick summary of what is good for Vata, Pitta and Kapha. What tests are good? Moving ahead, I'm going to talk about these three doshas and connected emotions. The Vata, if the Vata energy is imbalanced, which many times it is in Vata dominant people or even otherwise for Pitta dominant people and Kapha dominant people also, Vata can get easily imbalanced. If it is imbalanced, it gives rise to fear, anxiety, nervousness, leads to insecurities, makes people feel lonely sometimes. There is restlessness continuous. People can easily daydream, results in emotional instability, mood swings, confusion. These are all emotions that can be easily there because of imbalanced Vata energy. But if you balance this Vata energy following all these recommendations in the past few slides that I've been talking about, and if you can balance this Vata, then look what happens. You can have very clear picture, lot of creativity, alertness, joyful attitude, excitement, and lot of flexibility. So balanced Vata gives these positive experiences to us. If the Pitta is imbalanced, it certainly results in anger, rage, irritability, frustration, hatred, jealousy, and we can see this easily in a person who is Pitta dominant. Because when the person is Pitta dominant, his Pitta can get imbalanced easily. If a person is Vata dominant, his Vata can get imbalanced easily. If the Kapha dominant person, in him Kapha can get easily imbalanced. Now this Pitta person who can have this anger and irritability, along with that, he can be very impatient, envious, very judgmental, often criticizing others. If the Pitta energy is imbalanced, this is what happens when a Pitta person is having imbalanced Pitta energy. Then he gets angry and then he's just criticizing the others. That's often a picture. With the Vata person, he gets very anxious and he tries to creatively think about various different problems that can come into his life, and again that increases his anxiety. Pitta people, if the Pitta is imbalanced, it brings a lot of competitiveness and perfectionist attitude. And these people, if the Pitta is imbalanced, it can make them addicted to success and even manipulation of others. But if this same Pitta energy is balanced, look what it does. Excellent concentration, great attention in whatever you're doing, clarity, fantastic memory, understanding and appreciation, understanding of the situation in its reality. Moving ahead, emotions. If the kapha is imbalanced, it brings attachments, greed, possessiveness, cravings, longing and cravings. It can also bring depression, sadness, sense of worthlessness and grief, heaviness and dullness. But if it is balanced, love, compassion, unconditional love, compassion for everyone, caring nature, contentment and satisfaction, forgiveness, which is again connected with compassion, and emotional stability. So if we balance this kapha, pitta and vata, depending on our individual constitution, we can experience good physical health and positive mental states. There is a lot to study about this kapha, pitta and vata in Ayurveda. So I would encourage you to read more, encourage you to listen to more. There are many great Ayurveda masters who have given very good information out there. So try and learn from it. I hope you have got some basic ideas about this kapha, pitta and vata. So I'm going to stop here. Hari Om.